this is Warlord Nib. I'm going to be going over a class today, or I was asked to do a class on how, as a shield fighter, to fight a leg shielded opponent. You don't have to get down there yet if you don't want to. Now this is all from the perspective of a tournament setting, and I want to focus on winning our encounter with skill and not with like petty tricks. So that might be like focusing. I don't want to win the fight by only circling my opponent. I want to be able to win the fight against a legged opponent as if I'm fighting in a hallway. What I mean by that is if I'm fighting Bjorn, I don't want to have to beat him in tournament by doing this. Because it's ultimately a better skill for you to be able to defeat a legged opponent without having to move your feet drastically, except to do maybe some slight lateral positioning. Because you're not always going to be able to just run around. The first thing I'd like to go over is how to properly leg your opponents. Legging is going to happen naturally, especially if we're fighting and there's nothing open. At some point, someone's probably going to throw a leg. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about when I say how to properly leg an opponent, generally the concept is I want to fake up high or throw an opener up towards the upper quadrants of the body. So if I want to hit Bjorn in the leg properly, the fight isn't normally going to start right here, where I can just throw a leg. Bjorn's not going to let me get this close to him. So generally, step back we're going to start a fight from maybe this position, and the best thing to do would be to throw a shot that Bjorn would normally think is coming for a top quadrant. So if I want Bjorn to think I'm going to go for a high cross, I might throw here, or I might fake high. So now I can cause him to raise his guard and react to a high shot and instead go for leg. So it would look something like this. Like that. And immediately after I leg, I can step out. You have two options. You could actually immediately go for the double leg, which a lot of people do. Or like maybe I fake here and then do that, which is an instant kill. But generally what you want to do is you want to fake high, hit leg and go out. I like to hit from shield side to out instead of this way, because I feel like this really exposes my shoulder and arm to being countered on. So if he blocks or even sacrifices his leg, he can hit me in the shoulder. But if I go this way, I can table my board and prevent him from crossing onto my arms to throw across. See? All right, now that we got that down. All right, so I've legged Bjorn. The question is, what do I do? A lot of people sit in this position. A lot of mid-tier fighters and below will go, now it's harder. They're a turtle. I don't know what to do. So you have to think of a lot of different things. The first thing you should always do is ask which leg is dead, which is common sense, but it doesn't happen sometimes because maybe I hit Bjorn in the other leg, but if I don't ask and Bjorn puts the other leg forward, I could end up hitting the wrong leg, and that could be a problem for me because he might just kill me immediately. So that's the first thing to do.
One step that way.
What's up?
One step that way.
Okay, back this way.
Good.
I want to understand my opponent's range. I want to know how my opponent fights. So I fight Bjorn a lot, and I know he likes to rush, and he has the ability to lunge. So I know from right here, if I'm not doing anything and I don't have a plan, this could be a dangerous scenario because he might lunge and hit my shoulder. He might lunge and hit my leg. So I don't want to start fighting Bjorn from right here. If I leg Bjorn, I want to back up and I want to come up with my plan from about this distance. And this changes depending on who you're fighting. So, and this sounds obvious, but the very second thing you want to do after asking which leg is dead is you want to come up with a plan. And you want to stick to that plan and not hesitate to it in the fight. If the plan doesn't go your way, also have a way to disengage from the fight. So if my plan on fighting Bjorn is to hit his back leg, I need to know that going through, and when I go through and try to hit that leg, I don't want to be like, oh, it's not going to work because he's just going to hit me before I hit him. So I need to really act without hesitation. I might need to come in, cross on his hand, fake high to get him to hesitate and bring his guard up, and then slam down on his leg. But when I do that, I can't be like, oh, fuck, what am I doing? And then do it. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people hesitate. You need to know where I can safely threaten from, and this is dependent on how the person grips his range, which is about right here, put your sword on my chest, I know he can only hit my arm from this distance. So I can threaten and fake from this distance safely. That's something that you need to figure out and keep in mind. So, we've gone over range control. We have to go over, you have to think about what type of fighter your opponent is. Are they going to force a block strike? And what I mean by that is when I come in and I fight Bjorn, is Bjorn going to throw back from every shot that I throw? So like if it's going to be like this, can't hit me, but, or is Bjorn going to be a counter fighter? So he's not going to do anything until he sees an opening and then he might react. So I have to know those things and I can capitalize on them. If I know Bjorn's a counter fighter, I can throw in a spot that I expect is an obvious choice. So if I throw a shot to Bjorn's lower quadrant, I'm going to be like, Bjorn, throw at my arm, it's obvious, and I can capitalize on it and hit him. If I know Bjorn's going to wait for the counter, what I can do is I can instead throw a shot and press on him and not give him the opportunity to throw back. So what I mean by that is it's called pressing the border. So I can throw into their sword hand in close distance. So I throw here, and I'm stepping into right here, and now I'm in his face, and because he didn't throw back on me to get in, I now have the option to throw in all these different locations. So that's the easy one that a lot of people should learn. All you have to do is throw into the hand of the opponent, and it forces them to have to throw around your guard. It locks up their hand. I'm throwing here, and I'm stepping with my right foot or left foot at the same time. So now Bjorn has to make a choice, and I can just wait to see what his choice is. So I can be like, do you want to throw up my nice tasty shoulder? Throw up my shoulder. I can chop his arm. Are you going to throw down low? I can still chop his arm or throw over the top. Is his guard going high when I close in? Oh, super easy. Throw at the leg. A lot of people forget about this leg. This is actually the easiest way to kill a boarder. People don't realize it. The back leg is the easiest way to kill someone. Because naturally when I close, their guard is going to go up. I just have to go. The hard part is I have to get the leg. I can't necessarily throw from the front because his board is in the way. I have to lunge past him. And when you think you're lunging enough, you aren't fucking lunging enough. So lunge more. And what I mean by that is if I want to hit that leg, I'm not going to hit it right here. I'm going to hit it back here. So when you want to hit that back leg, you need to step and lunge past your opponent and hit the leg. Make sense? I don't want to hit it from here. I want to hit it from here because he cannot block that. That is the easiest way to kill someone, and I don't see enough people utilize that. And that also goes for when I'm down an arm. A lot of people can't throw this yet, and that's fine, but everyone should learn how to throw a reverse wrap with their hand, whether that be this or this, okay? Does everyone know what a reverse wrap is? So I'm basically throwing, instead of a chop on this side, I'm turning my hand over and I'm going around the guard. I'm not doing it from up here though. I want to do it past his shield rim, get my hand past his rim and hit the leg. And an easy way to do that is to step offline to his hand. Because naturally what's going to happen is he's going to think this is the obvious way to fight. Most people fight this way. If I'm down an arm, most people are going to try to throw on this side because it's the easiest thing to do. The easiest shot to land, let's just rotate. The easiest shot for me to land is the hip wrap. It's super, super easy. All I have to do is just step and do that. So it's the biggest threat at all times. But at the same time, it's also the easiest thing for Bjorn to block. He can just drop his hand and now chop me literally anywhere. So what I want to do, it looks like this, is I want to fake out here, and I have to lunge really far, fake out here, and come down and hit the other leg. I can slow it down. So I'm coming out here, and I'm leaning, and I'm hitting that leg. Super effective every time. It also works if he has the other leg forward, but whatever. Okay, we can talk about different locations. Fuck. So let me give you different options on what you can do to fight a shielded opponent. We already went over one, or actually two. The most obvious one, throw into their hand and step in. And now I have option to go here, over the shoulder. I have option to cross and hit the other arm, or I can hit his back leg. I can even, if I don't get in his face, if I get about to right here, I can even turn and pop his other arm. That is a little bit more complicating because I don't want to be right here and do it. I'm just going to tangle up his hand. I want to stop a little bit before I get there. So be like, and I'm throwing a nice little fake up to his shoulder because if you recognize when I'm right here, what's the biggest threat? This is the biggest threat because it's the easiest thing to do. So if I go here, I can fake up and he's got to respect it. So I'm going to pop you out. All right. My favorite thing to throw, as everyone knows, is the money shot. What that is, I'm going to be fighting with my right foot forward. I'm going to find that secret range where he can't hit me unless if he lunges, which is right about here. And I'm going to fake high and across his body to this shoulder. I'm not actually going to try to hit that, but it's like this. Faking over here with a slight step in, offline, and I can either throw down and pop him, pull your arm out a little bit, just like show it a little more. I can either pop him on his forearm or on the side. You have to be careful not to throw it too low because people will cheat and call leg. So throw here. Got it? Now, there is one danger about doing this shot. I want to bring my board up so he can't hit actually over. I want to put it above my head because he could cross and hit my arm if I do. If I just do this, he can hit my arm if he blocks it as well. So what I want to do is I can put my board on top of my head. It doesn't look very comfortable, but it's not too bad. Coming in, faking high, and I block the cross. Okay? Now, let's say he knows I'm going to throw a money shot. Okay? I throw it all the time, so it's pretty fucking obvious that I'm probably going to throw it. So he's going to bring his shield down, or he's going to bring his sword down. He has two options. What I can do is I can always throw a dark side in response. It's a modified dark side, so it's not exactly just this. I'm going to be throwing it upwards like this. The goal is to catch him being dumb, returning on me, and hitting his elbow. So I'm going to want to go here, he throws across, and I get his arm. The first shot wasn't intended to land, it was intended to get him to bite on me. Are you okay?
Yep, just need to.
You can also do that with any of these setups we've talked about. There's another setup right here, it's called double board side. So instead of throwing at the hand, I can throw at the board, I can throw at the board rim right here, and then I can step in and hit the shoulder. But if he knows I'm going to do that, he can try to cross my arm when I do this and hit me. But if I know that, I can dark side him. Simple. If he makes the mistake of leaving the safety of behind his board, I need to be ready to modify dark side and kill him. So that's an option. We have crossing in the hand, stepping in, throwing on back. We have double board side over the shoulder. We have money shot, which is really, really easy to do a second one after it, the double money. So you go, huh, and then actually land it. There's many different variations, but that's my favorite one. Let's go. Let's throw a second one. One thing, the money shot comes in at this kind of angle. It comes in low or high, low to high, or it can come straight across. All I'm doing, just for everyone to know, is I'm putting my hand here and I'm turning it over. That's all the shot is. It just looks fancy just doing shit like that. And I'm just turning my wrist over. Okay? But if I want to get a different angle, let's say he's got a really good horizontal block and he's preventing me from getting in. I can stab him in the side. I can act like I'm going to do this and then just stab. Let's actually rotate so they can see that better. I can rotate and stab. So I'm turning my wrist and stabbing in. It's super, super effective, and you don't only have to do it once, Because a lot of people cheat and they won't take the first one. So you turn and just keep fucking doing that. Okay? And a lot of times they're going to cross you while you're doing this. You look for a twitch. All you have to do is look for a twitch. When they twitch, I know they're going to go above. So I'm doing this, and now I hit his arm when he goes for above. So I'm here, and I'm not turning my hand over, I'm just doing an uppercut. I can even do it into his back. And to get that angle, all I'm doing is turning my body like this. I'm leaning over my knee and rotating my body like this. Okay? This is all I'm doing. Stab, stab. Alright, let's see what other ones I got. Those are my favorite. Those are the ones I like to do. What a lot of people forget is you want to throw a lot of stimuli at your opponent while they're legged. So I don't want to constantly be doing the same thing. All of these 4 things that I just showed you, you want to change them up a bit and you want to do a mix of them. So I don't want to always be fighting Bjorn with the money shot. He's going to get used to it. So I also want to close on Bjorn. I also want to hit him on that back leg to keep him in respecting it. Because if he knows I can hit him in the back leg and it's easy as shit to do, all I have to do is this and hit him on the other side now. And it's really easy. So the other thing you can do, these are just safe shots. They won't get you hit, but you might get lucky and pop something. The goal of it is to get my opponent to fight and to leave the safety of his shield. I'm right here in a comfortable guard. I throw an undercut under his hand. See, it's super, super easy, and I might get it. I can even drop my knees a little bit and do that. One thing that Lily, Sunshine, and Morpheus also do is they'll have their left foot forward and they'll throw an uppercut like this and pop that way. You can try that. It looks a lot cooler, so you know. You got that. You can also just throw straight chops and try to hit the top of the forearm or the shoulder or the bicep, like that. It's probably not going to land, but it's going to get him to do something. So one thing I might want to do is maybe before I closed in on him and he's afraid of me closing in, I can pretend like I'm going to close in and chop straight down. Because his guard's going to go like that. So it's like, okay? That's called inside-outside too. What you can also do is pop outside, and go straight on the inside. And that's really easy to do. All I'm doing is doing a hard pump downwards into the left. And then chopping straight out. Simple and effective. That's also the most important shot for you to learn with your left hand if you're fighting a right-handed opponent. This is very important. It's very hard and you should practice it because you're going to hit a lot of people in the face. But I'm going to use my foot and I'm going to step left and I'm going to pump really hard because what did I say earlier? The hip shot is the easiest shot to land. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to chop down. The easiest way to land it is to aim for the bicep and you're going to hit shoulder because if you aim for the shoulder, for some fucking reason I hit him in the face. So that's just how it works. So, boom, boom. And it's also great because if you notice when I throw this shot, my hand remains here. So if I miss it and Bjorn throws outside, I can block if I step to the right. Like that. And it's super, super sexy when it lands because you feel really good about yourself. A lot of people will try and hit this shoulder over here. I don't have a lot of success with that, so I can't tell you how to hit that, but you should definitely be threatening it. You should pretend like you can hit it. So what that means is, but when I throw for it, I'm not trying to roll over the shield and hit the shoulder. I'm going to pop at the shield, and I can drop down and get his guard to follow me. And that's how I can get it. I land it sometimes, but barely ever. But the real goal of it is to get him to fight on my hand. Because look at that, it's all juicy and sweet. And it's a really easy block. All I have to do is turn my arm. Well, he fucking hit me. Sorry. Boom, 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 and then you finish. You can also do 2 things with that. You don't only have to go for the block. You can also do this really cool thing thing that people did in the 90s and early 2000s and jump backwards. It's pretty dangerous, but you can still do it. So you pop here and then jump back and hit them in the shoulder. You'll probably also die, but it looks fucking sick. And that's all that matters. So don't forget, you also have stabs with this. Stabs are the secret. Okay, if there's two secrets to fighting a legged opponent, it's hitting them in the back leg and stabbing them. It doesn't look like it's open, but I just have to put my hand here, past the shield a little bit, and stab in. As I step in, it's gonna naturally go around his shield. So it looks like this. See? I can just keep fucking doing that if I want.
I don't think Jordan would enjoy it.
Oh, he would like it. But
We are
I'm
the
pretty
land of
sure I
spicy
just went
stabs.
over everything. And the key things that I want you to take away, let's just go over the few things we learned really quick. Sorry. The few base programming brought to you by knee pads. The knee pads. What is the brand? Whatever. So the key things we learned right now: reverse wrap to the forearm, double board side, touch the border, and hit the fucking back. Why does no one hit the back leg? It's so good. Hit the back leg. Fake somewhere else first. Alright? And stab him. Throw somewhere, so I like to throw it hand, drop, stab. I can also throw at the board. Throw at the board, drop, stab. Alright, that is a class.